Islam doing Bey. It's November the 3rd, 2020. I'm going to start off by saying today I received, well, first of all, let me start about tonight and explain what I just got off work and I'm not looking too cute, but hey, I always say that, and it's the truth. I'm not. But, I need to communicate, and my thoughts are being manipulated in my dreams constantly. The best sleep I had was the day and a half, that blue moon. But for approximately 2 years now, my dreams have been invaded constantly at night, where it's hard for me to sleep. I had to sleep light for almost 2 years, and I've been connected to you for these 2 years. And many times when these things are happening, these spirits that are doing it, when they say military, United States military, the police, like a lot of times they say we paid, or that we paid those Moors. We paid him, he was paid, or they say rely on those dirty Moors. Rely on the dirty Moors. And this is also in reference to the telepathic code, the strand of telepathic code that that they are distributing to masses of people that has dog and or other form of beast DNA. And this is in reference to slave breeding, like those being among those unclean spirits that are able to control technology with their minds. Black, Negro, saying brother, that's been in the population for a while, like a terrorist cell, male and female. These are unclean spirits I speak of, or Spanish speaking. My tablet or my phone goes off, and the tablet and the cell phone has radiation. So if the tablet and the phone has radiation, they have created these species of beings that attune to the tablet and radiation, attune to the tablet and phone. They can control it. They too have radiation. And if they're trying to forcefully slave breed this species in the population, and they've been doing it for a while, then that is it's unlawful, and it's out of the Constitution. So what I'm going to go ahead and start, I'm going to give you a testimony, because I did tweet. So like last night, like many nights, I was trying to sleep, and my thoughts were being invaded while I was asleep. Like I said, it's been going on for 2 years, and once again, they many spirits. I've always given testimony about this, Dwayne Bey. But instead of you demonstrating the opposite, you seem, or they say, he loves peace, referring that you are so in love with the female that you have close to you, and that she wants you to, and this is just not with them, unclean spirits, even Moors. Moorish spirits have implied that she wants you to sacrifice me, release me, so that she and you can continue, and she's a better match for you. So gradually through time, that's what you were doing. And so and they have these spirits. They say, well, he's not strong. He's not strong in morality and ethics, Dwayne Bey. This is what I've heard many times. He's not strong in ethics and morality. And like I said before, I told you I heard this once before. And these are unclean spirits. And we know it's spirituality. And that we among unclean spirits who don't think for the present moment, they're thinking in the future as well, future lives. So they think ahead, and if they think ahead and they're trying to stop a change, they're trying to stop the spirit of freedom. They're trying to stop the frequency from rising, because if you're unclean and demonic in spirit, and you are outside of natural law, that means you're not even considered natural. You're not even considered to be a part of natural law. through not just your thoughts, but just your DNA and who you are. Hold on, I think a Negro is walking by, and it was a blackie Negro. All right, probably connected to the United States Navy, Army, or the police. All right. And it was, and she was saying paid. And a lot of times they have Black Lives Matter on their shirt, on their mask. Anyway, if you're outside of natural law, you're not able to harmonize and raise the frequency. Islam. So this has been going on for a long time, Dwayne, a long time. So what happened last night? So what I would try to do to counteract what I was experiencing, I don't want to go to last night quite yet. I would definitely start demonstrating what I know to be true through these years. And I started doing that in 2013. And as time went on, and I went to New York. And after New York, when I went to New York, Dwayne Bay, I went there, and you were there with me spiritually to go to New York, for me to arrive to New York. And when I arrived to New York, and I remember because there was a blizzard that night. When I arrived to New York, and I stayed there for a year and about 5 months. It wasn't easy. It wasn't easy, and I had no reason to see her as a threat. I had no reason to see anyone that supported How You Two Union as a threat. I never had a reason to think that. Never. I just it wasn't in my thought process to do that. My main thought was to get to you and and I was believing in you and what you were teaching. I was believing in your heart, your higher self. I was in love. So, and you are and right now I'm demonstrating under the Twitter page how we connected and what I experienced with you. So even then in New York, unclean spirits would say, when they would attack, they would say things like, give a more PUSSY and some money, and they'll do anything, and they'll do it. They'll sell out. No, they'll sell out each time. They use the word sell out. I remember that thought came constantly. So I was thinking to myself, what are they talking about? They didn't give you no money. How did they give Morris money? And what are they talking about? PUSSY. They saying PUSSY is in like some form of sex. So I started to think about with a female. So then I started to think about in spirit and how we, like the Bible. The Bible predicts things that are things are happening and things are and what is to come. Prophet Noble Drew Ali, he did the exact same thing. He spoke about in that time frame what was going on and what was to come. So what I'm thinking about now is what these spirits are talking about, because the more and more I start to deal more with spirituality, the more and more I start to see how these spirits think ahead, and they are all about spirit. They know they're all about energy, and it's about spirituality, and it's about frequency, and to kill. When they think of before, when I used to think of a spirit, an unclean spirit, I'm talking about unclean spirits here, very wicked spirits. When they think about killing and destroying a line, a thought, that energy of that flag, that energy of love, true peace, freedom, and justice, they are not thinking about burning a flag physically, which they will do ritually, or killing someone on a physical plane through the body process or whatever. they are actually thinking about on a spiritual level. So when they would say, give a more, these spirits, unclean, very wicked, Pussy, and money, and they'll do anything, I think what they are referring to is how Moors will obtain wealth and knowledge. And once they get the wealth and knowledge, how will they behave? What will they do with that wealth and knowledge spiritually, mentally? After, what will they do, and what would they sacrifice for it in reference to their ethics, their morality? And once they get it, and if they're still trying to climb or whatever they're trying to obtain, what else would they do? So, because I see that this war or these unclean spirits, they first thing they do is the main thing is an attack that covenant to the Most High, Allah. And when they're attacking the Most High, Allah, they're attacking what is divine and righteous. They're attacking what is just. They're attacking what is truth, freedom, what is lawful. Not just lawful in reference to constitutional law, law, the paper law, the organic instrument, but they are attacking that divine laws, those divine laws that separates us as divine celestial beings from the unclean, the wicked abominations that we are among. That is a jurisdiction that sets us apart. So this is how I see how a Moor who has learned of who they are, their tribe, their culture, and who have obtained wealth, a light being, and yet through their thought process, or what they have done through their actions, have been placed in a separate jurisdiction than those who are in the jurisdiction of righteousness, of the jurisdiction that the Most High has spoke about. Prophet Noble Ali, Dwayne Bafube, spoke about some scriptures in the Bible about having a lot of places for Moors, but he can only count on one hand or two hands or who would be there. The Bible speaks of things like this as well. And I think the reason why they speak of things of such nature, because they are trying to demonstrate the importance of your higher self, and not selling your higher self or that which is righteous for any means necessary. Okay, so I'm going to get back to us. So many times, Dwayne Bafube, through the years, and it really started to weigh on me. Okay, it really has, because since this started in 2014, when I started to hear more so that a choice was to be presented to you of what you need to do, and in reference to you and me, and it was a choice of morality. Okay. It was as though a choice was given to you as a Mercutian that will affect your well-being, your thoughts, your connection to the divinity, to the divine, and it's also a test. But it's like it's already been. It's already been predicted through your ancestral line, like I have perdition in my ancestral line, what you gonna do. So this is the thought process and connection to the most wicked spirit saying, give a more, PUSSY, and money, and he or she would sell out each and every time. I remember Dwayne Bey, you said to me one time, you said, not to me, but you posted, you said, just because a Moor is wealthy doesn't mean he gained his wealth, a Moor or a Muslim, by selling out, or by selling a part of himself. Many Moors or many Muslims have become wealthy, and they did not, and they started, like, you know, in so many words you implied this, you didn't say this word for word, and they might have started, they didn't come from wealth, and they did not have to sacrifice or sell out a part of themselves to get it. They worked hard, and they didn't, and after they got it, they still didn't sell out a part, or sell out, or their higher self, or their divinity, or what is righteous. And so once again, Dwayne Bey, this has been a long road, a very long road with you, but I don't regret it. I'm getting to last night, and what I experienced. Okay, so in 2015, as you know, I went through what I experienced in reference to gentles being attacked spiritually. They were never attacked before. And when this happened, they just kept saying, these spirits, when they would do it, they said, oh, he did it, he did it, he did it. They kept, so they're accusing you of doing something or allowing something to happen. This is in New York. When I experienced sharp tones, the exact same thing. He did it, he did it, they did it. So once again, they're accusing Moors of sacrifice, or they say they'll sacrifice their own. We know those Moors, they will sacrifice their own. Okay, and then I've been in reference to that. It's sad because even some Moors will even try to Moor spirits. I don't know if this is true Moor spirits. Okay, let me say that. But they would try to justify what I have experienced. Okay, this could be impersonating spirits by just saying she's only human. Okay, knowing that I haven't reclaimed my status as a celestial being like I want to, like I should be able to. It's sort of like when, before I reclaimed my nationality as a Moorish American, some Moor spirits that obviously didn't like that I was with you, and that I had obligated spiritually to you first. You obligated spiritually to me first. Will definitely bring up how I haven't claimed my nationality, or I'm only in the movement because I have debt, or I have obtained some form of debt, or just whatever, or I'm only with you because of, it's like, what could I offer you? What could I possibly offer you? I have no money. I have no education. She's only reclaiming her nationality to free herself from what she's experiencing, and that wasn't true. So the same thing, these same the Moor spirits are now. So now I've claimed my nationality with Imani Gray, my son, -Bey, Arrington-Bey. Corrected our status, our social security card, our state ID, our birth certificate, We amended our birth certificates with our ancestral name. Now we were trying to continue and reclaim the rest of our status, because we need to know who we are. Our tribe as indigenous native of this land, okay? So we need to know, and not only that, but also claim our status as divine celestial beings. So so now I'm back to this more spirits saying she's only human, but that's not true. Just like I wasn't black, and this, like I didn't join the movement because of what I was experiencing in reference to student loan. Because that's the only debt I have, student loan. I don't have any other debt. It's just, or if that wasn't even considered a debt, it was student loan. So I don't understand. So that is it. So it's like now when I try, all I could think about is standing on truth. I stood on truth in 2013. When the reason why I originally started this journey was with my two sons, Arrington-Bey, reclaiming our nationality, and Arrington-Bey. But Bass, he didn't make it with me in doing this, and I don't have to go through that. The reason why he didn't make it. So now Arrington-Bey and I, Rhonda Arrington-Bey, we are now on the same journey. So, but it's more than just reclaiming our nationality through correcting our paperwork. There's different branches of freedom and honoring your ancestors. So these spirits, these wicked, unclean, abomination spirits, when they keep speaking about all you have to do is give those Moors, P-U-S-S-Y, and money, they are definitely tapping into how Moors obtain their wealth, that energy they put in it, and different distractions they use, spiritually they use to pacify that Moor from not doing what is righteous, or upholding what is righteous, upholding our Moorish American flag. I never forget in New York, Dwayne Bathfield Bay, some Moorish spirits would say, Dwayne, I would think of you and I, we're fighting a battle, and they would laugh. Some of them, some Moorish spirits, or impersonating Moorish spirits, and say, he's not going to war. He need to go and get married. They just laugh. He's not going to war. He's not going to go to no battle. He's not going to do anything. He's going to go and get married and do what he had a deal to do. The same deal that was spoke about in reference in 2014 about how the female that you're with, that's close to you, definitely wanted me completely out the picture, and those that supported your union, any means necessary. That means sacrificing, knowing that we are among unclean spirits and slave breeding. That terrorist cell, that unclean spirit, that black Negro that they've been holding and keeping it quiet, because they knew we didn't know that we were among some unclean demonic spirits of the African American species that they've been breeding in our ancestral line. Okay? And then Spanish speaking, pale skin. So you got many different cells in the matrix. But definitely they know exactly what they were doing about the African American demonic unclean spirit that they had been holding and keeping hidden, because they've been breeding them in for years and we had no idea. Male and female. So in that, and then top it off, we among other unclean spirits, and then they have the telepathic code that have different strands of beasts and animals. So in that, these Moorish women and some men, they don't care about this form, the most abomination, demonic, slave breeding acts that are going on that is so against natural law, that if any more has the capability of uplifting and freeing one of theirs, they should want to do it any means necessary. All they care about is making sure that this Moor, you, who is obviously very wealthy and powerful, does not connect with me on a physical plane and give me any form of status in reference to what we did in the sacred grove, that mental plane, in reference to spiritual obligation, because they want that power to go to that woman that's close to you, because for whatever reason. So all the rituals of releasing, okay, that she probably was involved in, all the harm I've experienced that has happened through time, little by little, because of you choosing to release. So all that energy and that spirit of betrayal, will not be in vain, because that's really what it's about, upholding and cultivating that spirit of betrayal. That spirit of betrayal, betraying what is righteous, betraying freedom, betraying truth. That's really what it's about. Because truth is in everything. Truth is in the words I speak when I say I obligated with you spiritually in a sacred grove. And you told me, but you used the word married. I'm using spiritually obligation now because you changed up in these past months. You changed up. You started using, I should say this year, you started using one a lot, one. Then you start saying, I am not married. We partner. But when we was in the sacred grove, you said married constantly. You said, I'm not married. I partner up as a spiritual ascetic teacher. But when we was in the sacred grove, you used the word married. You told me you married me first. Many times you have said that you wanted 2 wives. I don't know. And many times it was implied that those that were around you would get you to love, P-U-S-S-Y, what these wicked would say, but I'm just saying, the spiritual women and men that are around you, that's supposed to be your supporting foundation. It's being implied that you will love that P-U-S-S-Y, making money and so forth, so much that you will eventually completely let me go and throw me to the wolves. Throw me to the wolves. Throw me to the beast, Arrington-Bey, and go about your business. So this is what has been implied, that what they wanted you to do and what they've been waiting for you to do. So then, therefore, You could be with her and doing what they would say your destiny. So Dwayne Bey, what I say to you is, how does this connect to upholding those divine laws of freedom? Because in your destiny, and I listen to your podcast, you constantly speaking about different ways of healing and maintaining your frequency and deep breathing. How does this, what I've experienced, now I'm speaking truth, okay? I'm on truth. How does calling me a stalker, well, you know I'm not, but just because it's convenient for you to say stalker, because you might have experienced some form of connection or tantric sex, which once again I'm getting back to what those wicked spirits was saying in 2015, okay? Islam, give a more PUSSY in wealth, and he will sell out every time. And here we are in 2020, and this word tantric sex, this action of tantric sex is always coming up in reference to you and her. Or even before that, unclean spirits will speak about when I was getting when I was experienced different forms of molestations in my sleep. They accuse you of knowing about it, and because you are a wizard and she's a witch, and the witches and the wizards that are in our Moorish American nation wanted to show and demonstrate a level of status with her. They actually ritualize and allow these things to happen with unclean demonic spirits, that black Negro, that filthy, unclean, demonic abomination, or even Spanish speaking, or whoever, they just allow it to happen because they are trying, because they want it, because you and other witches and wizards wanted to demonstrate a status in reference to the female or the woman that's close to you. And that goes back to 2013 and on other accusations they said. These unclean spirits, and some of them were more spirits that also said the same thing, Dwayne Bey. So, Dwayne, the reason why I'm saying this is because it's important for me to say it. Now, in truth, I'm only giving you testimony. All I know is truthful what happened, and you know what's been said. So in truth, Dwayne Bey, truth, we spiritually obligated, and in your words, you said married in August of 2013. I never divorced you. The closest thing I came to divorcing was removing a ring, and before I came to Maryland, spiritually in the sacred grove, because I was overwhelmed with pain and hurt. It wasn't because I didn't love. But then you came back when I came to Maryland. You came back, and and then I continued to demonstrate I was your wife, and you didn't question it. But yet there was this battle again. Many times more spirits, not just wicked, unclean abominations, but more spirits would accuse you of accepting money. That's where the money and violence would come. Someone would post that on your Twitter page. You know, I didn't see, because I wasn't technological savvy like I am now. More technological savvy than I am now than I was before. So I didn't look to see who was posting it. But one time I clicked on one Twitter, and it was one tweet, and because I didn't know, I clicked on it. I just wanted to see who it was. And then it was, I know he was still connected to Dr. Arrington-Bey, and some other Washita Moors, I think. So, and then these same Moors, then these abomination spirits started to, or kept continuously proclaim how they were in cahoots with Moors, these unclean demonic spirits, in reference to me experiencing harm gradually and getting more intense. And now, for over almost 2 years, my dreams have been invaded. Like that which is invading is trying to find a way to go deep. They keep saying 3 or 33, or they keep using the word brother. Sometimes just come out and say breed. They want to breed, or slave breed, and once again, we're among robots and other abomination spirits. So, Dwayne, this has been going on. You know, I've been fighting this battle with you for a long time, with you, not against you, because I always wanted to believe in you and your higher self, because I loved. A lot of things were exposed to me because I was told, and then as I wait, the truth started to reveal itself. Truth. So now, this last form of truth, in reference to betrayal and deceit, Dwayne, you left Twitter, and before you left, you used the word stalker. You had my picture up. But before this happened, clear as day, mentally, you kept saying about her being going ballistic. Now remember, Dwayne Bey, before this, I was feeling so good before this happened a few days, because we've been back and forth. Because you've done this before with the stalker a year ago, but then we continued. So before this happened, I clicked on your hashtag that I made. You know, it's our hashtag. And I didn't see any of our tweets anymore, and I didn't know why. I thought you had disabled the hashtag, and I was so upset. And then I received a mental message that you brought it back. So I clicked on it, and it was bad. But I kept hearing some mental telepathic thought that definitely was coming from you, saying that the woman that you love is going ballistic. And you didn't marry her, and you supposed to have obligated to her, and she was really, really like upset, and so this is going back once again to the witch and wizard status that possibly you put her in, where when needed, if I got too close, you know, we're gonna we're gonna demonstrate, even to a point of placing her in mental bondage, or exposing her, or making her vulnerable to mental bondage to such an extreme where she can actually lose her mind before we allow her and Dwayne to connect. And you seem to be a part of it. So I kept seeing, so I kept hearing this thought, and then you kept saying that she's, you know, this, she's that, she's going upset. And many times they keep, you know, the spirits, and you used to put on your Twitter page sometimes how you love something. You love, you love, you love. And I used to say, what kind of love exists that causes a Moor to behave beneath his divinity? I used to say that to myself. I used to say I don't want to experience this love. Because I said to myself, and I used to also tweet, and I also said to you, I said it matters how you love. It's just like it matters how you obtain wealth and how you maintain your wealth. It matters how you love. So when when you would say I love something, like, and it was obviously directed towards her and not me, you didn't say you loved her, but you would say I love something. And I just felt the energy. It wasn't you were trying to express how you felt towards her. I was wondering. I was like, what, if you have to sacrifice your higher self for this love, this joy, or this happiness, when will it stop? And then, sure enough, 2 weeks ago, you straight out and said stalker, and you knew we were everybody see on all plays of life that we are connected. They see, these spirits see. Now on the physical plane, they can always say what they want to say, but truth is what is, and it is, was, and still exists, and it's still today. So truth is that on many planes of life they saw truth, Dwayne. And then they saw you put truth down. For what? And for who? You put truth down, which is a part of our Moorish American flag. Love, truth, peace, freedom, and justice. Our 5 divine principles. For what? And for who? What would be so important to do such things? That sacrifice. So I asked you, I used to say this a couple of years ago. I said, Dwayne, when you start demonstrating a necessary evil, when does it stop? When have you controlled that lower self energy to a point where you can actually say, okay, that's something I would not do. I just cannot betray that person like that, or I just cannot use that form of deceit. When will it stop? And so now 2 weeks ago, you straight out right then, I was so hurt. I was really hurt, Dwayne, really hurt, like I have before. But I just couldn't believe it. You did it so blatant, so like straight out. And it's always been in reference to her and something, maintain a relationship or something with her. And I don't know how true it is. I don't know all the aspects, but I'm going back to you. I'm bringing this back up to those unclean, wicked spirits that obviously trace lines, Islam, and they said give a more PUSSY and money, and he will sell out, or she, but they use he every time. I used to, that's not a uncommon saying. And I had to think, I was like, what are they talking about? He obviously gained his own money. He built his own empire. But in reference to spirituality, and honoring our divinity, then I can see what they're talking about. And I'm not saying you have, but I'm only giving you a statement or giving you experiences, and I want you to see. So last night, Dwayne, after bed, as I was resting, I was like, once again, my thoughts were being tampered with, and I was like, okay. All of a sudden, I was already restless, but luckily I was able to sleep for about 2 days during the full moon. Obviously I needed it. But then, as I was my thoughts were being invaded, this spirit, unclean spirit, or I don't know, at first it sounds so Moorish, kept saying, let this Moor fall. It's like it was so upset with you. It's like, this is the energy at first. It was like, it really sounded like a Moor. And it just kept saying, let this Moor fall. Let him fall. Let him fall. I mean, he does not deserve you. Let him fall. Let him fall. He doesn't deserve you. Let him fall. And it was like possibly, I don't know. It was definitely, it had like a Moorish tone. And it was after I tweeted what I was experiencing in reference to, I tweeted what in reference to my thoughts being invaded. And it was definitely towards you. It was saying, let you fall. He doesn't deserve you. Let him fall. He doesn't, let him be with those women. Let him fall. And then all of a sudden the voice sort of faded away. A different tone came, a different energy. It was sound like an impersonating, but definitely the first time when it was like loud, it sounded so Moorish, like a Moorish American, definitely like a Moor saying it. But he was angry. He was just angry, and I could hear it in his voice. He was angry, and he was angry. It was a tone of this, like, of upset. Then the tone changed, and it was definitely impersonating spirits. So Dwayne, what I'm telling you is, I can't make you do something you don't want to do. But what I did post, I post about the betrayal. See, Dwayne, I don't have money or a lot of wealth right now. I know it exists because of who I am. I haven't learned how to obtain it because I'm a Moorish American. Betrayal doesn't just stop. These unclean energies, they follow in the lines. And so one of the things I wanted to tell you, Dwayne Arrington-Bey, is when you among spirits, female spirits and men and women spirits, and they don't have the sight to see the danger of betrayal, that spirit of betrayal. In fact, they cultivate it and they justify it, or they try to figure out different ways to wiggle out of saying that it's betrayal. You understand? Like, for instance, saying I'm on a journey. So if I keep saying I'm on a journey, but yet denounce I am your spiritual wife, then that takes away from what I experienced since 2013 with you. You understand? As though you're not accountable, as though you are not accountable for being righteous and just towards me, and I'm not accountable for being righteous and just towards you. So if I focus that I'm on this journey, it's like, okay, we'll let her recognize, or we'll recognize that she awakened and she might be different, but don't let her go back. Don't let her reclaim her status as your wife. Don't let her hold that status, because if you do, then you're going to be accountable for all that she has experienced and all that you allow happen, and you are trying to ascend. And that's one of the thoughts that I was experiencing. So in reference to the spirit of betrayal, Dwayne Baffelbay, and dealing with being among men and women who will cultivate that spirit of betrayal or deceit, and not the spirit of truth and righteousness, I would say that would be your true enemy in the future, because when you are among those spirits and those who do not see the danger in those spirits, so in reference, they might say, I'm loyal, but yet they have participated in betraying another, or encourage you to betray another, Islam, or use deceit. How do they control those spirits of betrayal, deceit, and harm in the future? Because they have already opened themselves up to let it be a part of their world. And so in that you have jealousy. So how do you have the spirit of trust, honor, truth, love, peace, freedom, and justice mixed in with all those other unclean spirits which betrayal is a part of? And this is the connection to that spirit. Just kept saying, let that more fall. Let them fall. I don't think I'm perfect where I'm going to save you. But I think what this spirit was saying is in connection to choices. Connection to choices and what I have experienced with you, and how just by standing on truth and honoring truth, because that's what this is about. Our covenant to Allah and honoring our 5 divine principles, it changes everything. And having courage to do, and by doing that, knowing that the woman that you claim you love might not be around. But if she cannot be around while you standing on love, truth, peace, freedom, and justice, why do you have her around? If she cannot be around and help you keep your back straight, what is the purpose of having her besides being that PUSSY that those unclean spirits, those wicked ones, keep talking about? If she cannot be around so you can walk with your head up and you walking in the public and people look at you and say, Islam, I know that honorable more right there. I know that more. I know that honorable and just more. If she cannot help you demonstrate these attributes of Allah, not only in the public but in the dark, why is she there? Is her blood that rare? Is she that rare? Is her? I'm just saying, why is she there? And that's my thought to you, and that is what I say to you as a friend. Why is she there? Besides being that PUSSY that those unclean, wicked spirits be speaking about and have spoke about through these years. That's the issue. That is the issue. That is truly the issue. I'm not saying she encouraged you to do these things. I'm only giving you statements of what I've experienced from unclean spirits and also more spirits. So Dwayne Baffelbay, I always hope that you return. But if you return, I know it's because you stand on truth. That's the only way he's going to return. It's because you decided to be courageous and honorable and stand on truth. To Twitter, that's the only way. And you're going to do it without worrying about if she's going to walk out that door or not. Because is she your covenant to Allah? I don't think she's your covenant to Allah or the Most High. Islam.